Hello folks, welcome back to the ABC Journeyman. I am the Custard Prophet, and we're back here at AFC Wimbledon. So today we're going to be playing the first game at this new club. I'm still shocked at the move that we made all the way from the Vanarama North, winning that league, mind, all the way through up here to AFC Wimbledon in the Championship of all things. How have they managed that? So they've clearly got some decent players, and we saw some of those last time out. But we really had to bring in some additional players if we had any hope of surviving in this league, and that's what we've done. Let's go and have a look at those. We've made some changes to the squad. We've had one player who's gone out, Henry Lister, who I did not think was at a level that he's going to help us in the slightest, and you can see why. I mean, he might have just about got in the Brackley team, but he was sitting here at AFC Wimbledon. He'd played quite a few games, but look at the average rating, it's not particularly good. So I was happy enough to offload him for 90 grand. We did have some money to spend, about 3 million in the bank. We've not spent a lot of that. We've spent a little bit of it, probably about £500,000 to upgrade the team. Now, if you remember from last time, there was a few places that we were missing players. One of them was in goal. We had no goalkeeper at all, and we have found a goalkeeper. The back line was looking pretty strong, but I did feel we maybe needed a little bit more on the fullback, and we've looked to do that as well. Up front was an area where we really needed to do something, and also wanted a little bit more creativity in midfield, and all of those areas we've managed to do something with, and just about keep it within the wage budget, which we're pretty much at the minute now. So we've got a wage budget of £123,000. We've got about 20 grand actually. We've got a little bit more than I remembered here. So it's probably another player or a couple of players that we could bring in, which we'll need to. As you can see, we've got a balance of £4.2 million, and we've got a £1.5 million in the pot, which is pretty nice. Let's have a look at those transfers that we bought in. So first up, I think most critically, was a goalkeeper. We looked around for somebody who was going to improve what we had, and I found Sam Odam from Gillingham. Now, Sam Odam, I think, is a good-looking player. He's a 3-star player who was at Gillingham last year. I think he's got all the attributes where he needs to have them. Whether he's a championship-level goalkeeper is another thing. I'm not 100% sure, but he was at Manchester United previously. He was at Gillingham in League 2, did very well for them. Well, goalkeepers never do that great, do they? 11 clean sheets in 46 games, played the full season, but 11 clean sheets in 46 games, but he only conceded 55 goals. That says to me he's probably a pretty decent player. I'm not quite sure where Gillingham finished that year. Maybe we can have a look at that. So they finished 22nd. So, I mean, he did a great job of keeping the goals down. So we spent a little bit of money to get Sam Odam into the club. I think he's going to be good. Obviously, this is a much higher level than he's played at before. He doesn't feel comfortable in big matches, and he's at the moment only a League One standard player. I think he does have a bit of room for development. I can't remember how old he is. He's 25, so he's probably not going to make that development. He's probably a little bit old, but he's spent a lot of time at Manchester United. I'm hoping that he will be a good pickup. Let me know what you think about him in the comments. So we wanted a little bit more left and right back, and again, we're looking at the lower divisions. Michael Malty from Exeter was the player I came up with. Physically, he is awesome. He's a real specimen physically. But the important thing here is he provides cover all the way down the left, all the way down the right. He's quite a good attacking wing back. So if we want to go forward and attack, we can bring him in and maybe tweak things a little bit to focus on him overlapping the left-sided player. So that was, I think, a good pickup. And he is only 23. He's from Gabon. We paid very little money. Again, League 2 standard player, but did very well. I always find that wing backs or left and right backs seem to do very poorly in terms of ratings in the current game. So, if he's getting average ratings like that, I'm happy to give him a shot. Again, we're looking low. So, we also wanted to bring in some strikers to boost what we already had. And just a reminder of what we already had. We had Karim Seth, who I think was most likely to be our striker. He is a bit of a beast, and I think he is going to be enough. He's going to be good enough at this level. He's a 4-star player, very good physically, great finishing. He's going to have to do it at a high level. He got 20 goals last season in 45 games. So if he's got some good players alongside him, maybe he can do a little bit better this season. And he does. We have bought in a few players that you will see. One of whom is Daniel Barjones. Of course we were going to bring in. Of course we were. Yes, he's going to have a bit part role. But he is only 23 and I could not leave him out. I don't think he's a bad looking player at all, even for this level. Yes, he is missing a few bits technically, but physically he's strong, he's big, he's got some good mentals there as well. He's not a bad player. And so I'm hoping that Danny Barjones can come in and do a job. He's very much a backup. Don't worry, we're not relying on him. We've got a couple of players I think who can really help with this. Number one is Oliver Kemp, who is a poacher most happily. Finishing again, really strong, good first touch, good heading. He's not that tall, but he's got good heading ability. Physically, very, very good. Determination of 20. We love when we see that. And I think some good mentals as well. So I think overall, he can't dribble with the ball. That might be a bit of an issue. But if the ball comes to him, I think he's going to be able to do a good job. He obviously, looking at his long shots, he needs to be in the box to be effective, but the finishing, that tells us everything we want to know. So we have to really play him if we want him to score goals as a poacher or something where he's going to be in the box a lot. So he's one of the strikers we've bought in. The other one is Daniel da Silva. Not so strong in terms of his finishing, but he's a much more technically gifted player. So the idea here is that he's going to be a player to link up with the other two, whichever one we are playing. He's got technique of 16, teamwork of 16, vision of 13 and passing of 11. So yeah, we're going to be playing him as a deep line forward. He's got a bit of flair, he can dribble with the ball, so he's going to be our little technician there, just picking up the ball and then finding his partner round the corner, and hopefully they're going to link up quite nicely. So he's actually got an interesting history. He was picked up by Blackburn a few years back, but never played a game for them. £400,000 they splashed out, but he was away at Gremio. Not entirely sure where this one is, and ATP. I'm not sure where that one is as well. But he was scoring goals in some of these second division clubs. Didn't do so well in the top division club in Brazil, but looks like he is a solid player. So he's coming in. He's got his chance now to play at this level. I didn't actually say Oliver Kemp, the player we saw a second ago. He actually played at championship level last season. He was at Preston, spent a long time at Derby as well. In fact, came through the Derby Academy, so that's kind of nice. He played a few games for Derby in the championship, so I'm sure Joe will be happy with this. 23, 24. So yeah, he's actually one of the players who were there at the start of this game. So Joe, if you know something about this guy, let me know. So a couple of other players that we bought in. So I wanted a little bit more on the wings. We bought in Tim Handley, who is on loan, I think, from Blackburn. No, from Fulham. So he was on loan at Stockport last season, did well there. Was on loan at Fleetwood the season before, and we've got him on loan. We're not paying any money for him. We are paying his wages, but I think he looks good. He's probably not going to start straight away, but he's fast. He's got good physicals, good crossing and dribbling ability. Like the looks of this guy, and he can pass the ball. So I think he's gonna be good. And the other place I wanted a little bit more, and I was finding it a real struggle to find the right player for this, was someone creative in the middle. And we've gone old for this. We bought in Ben Davis. It's not that Ben Davis. But this guy has good passing ability. Yes, his physicals are dropping, but I think he's got much of what we want in that position. Good passing, good vision, good work rate, and he's got a bit of flair as well. We bought him from Burton in Thailand, but he's actually spent a lot of time in Oxford and was one of their better players for a long period. He was an absolute legend out there for the past sort of 10 years or so at Oxford. Got them promoted into the Championship, did well for them when in the Championship. You can see he's had 2 or 3 seasons out in the Championship, including this season, most recently, where he got a 6.96 rating. Yes, he was spending some of the time off the bench, but I think he's a quality player. Whether he's the right man or not, I don't know. In terms of the tactics that we're going with, it's a very simple tactic. We are going for very much a 4-4-2, and hoping that this can do the job. We are going to be doing slightly more direct, because I feel trying to pass round some of these Championship clubs is going to be difficult. We're going to use our physical ability to our advantage, and our biggest strength, I think, is down the wings. So we're going to be using the wings of the team. We've got good players on both left and right side. It's going to be Walcott and Malt initially, but we've got Handley as well, and we've got good players that we can bring in on the at wing back as well. Maybe that's more of an issue, and hopefully we've got some good players up top. I don't know. We were 450 to 1 to win the league. We're now 400 to 1, so that's improved. Still way behind everyone else, but it's not impossible, is it? At this level, I think we can find something out of this, and I'm looking forward to trying to do that. Right, folks, we're going to go straight into game number 1. Right, so here we go. We're away against QPR. QPR, I think, are predicted to finish 17th, so it's an interesting game. We're top of the league currently. That is the only time that's going to happen. I don't think we've got a squad that is going to surprise anyone. I think we're going to struggle this season. I think staying in this league is going to be financially beneficial. We can then use those finances to start picking up some more Championship level players. Looking the leagues below to look for some gems down there, and maybe abroad as well. But we're going to have to be canny. We're going to have to sell players to make money. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be fun, I think. I'm not necessarily looking to move on quickly from this one. I'm really fascinated to see how we'll do. We may have no choice. We may be kicked out and sacked after like 3 days, but hopefully we can give a good performance here against QPR. In pre-season, it's gone okay. We beat Watford, actually, in the FM Cup. Oliver Kemp with a goal. Drew at home against Braga. Beat Cologne 3-0. All was going very well. And then we lost 4-0 to Dusseldorf, which was a bit of a dodgy performance. Final game was a 2-1 victory over Doncaster. We're getting some good crowds. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we do here against QPR. Team we're going with, we've got Seth and De Silva are going to be starting. Kemp is going to come off the bench. We've got Barjones on the bench as well. Midfield, Bellshort, Davis, Malt and Walcott. It looks strong. Probably not for this level, but certainly the level below. Chambers, Chilcott, DeBayo and Jones across the back line. Odam in goal. Let's see what we do. I don't know. We'll auto number those guys. We've still got room for another player or two to come in. So, if we find there are clear holes, we will have to do something about that. Right, we're not expected to do anything in any of these games. The board thought we're going to draw the game. I can safely say we're not going to do that. Let's start. So, not seeing much at all. Not letting them create much. But here's De Silva down the wing. Puts in Walcott. Could we create a chance here? Walcott plays it in. Oh, Seth got his foot to it. It was offside though. It wouldn't have counted. First chance that we've seen from anybody. Well, we get to half time. We're 0-0. It's not bad. Certainly, we can say that QPR haven't really done much. We've had one good chance. I don't think that can be the chance unless it wasn't. I don't know. I'm a little confused there. We've got a bit of an injury though to Malt in midfield, and we might have to react to that. Looks like Walcott's doing good things down the right side. De Bayo's doing well in defence. Have a look at this injury. It's a groin injury. Those are potentially dangerous. What have we got on the bench? I think Xavier Simons is the man who's going to come on. Right, let's go. Let's see what we can do here. Xavier Simons coming on for his first championship appearance of the season. Obviously, because it's the first game. But losing Malt won't be great because he's a very good option in the middle of the park. The ball being passed around, ball over the top, and that's well done. Odam's picked it up. Into Chambers. Chambers goes long into Seth. He's through. He's chipped his... Oh! I thought he chipped his man, but Greengrass went backwards. I don't know what whoever that was doing. That was Davis. You can see his slow ability there. We just need him on the ball. Ball over the top though. Oh, it's gone in. First chance we've seen at all. Ali Cilia. And, oh dear me. I didn't think it was... I mean, defensively I wasn't too worried. But it was a nice ball over the top. They let him run. His pace got in there. We tried to make the block. It looked like... Who's that? Dabaya missed the block. And, yeah. Shame. We're 1-0 down. I'm not too disappointed with this. It's not a bad performance at all. Well, Seth has come off. Kemp is on. But it looks like this might not be a highlight for us. Unless we can get our heads to it or something. Here's Kumas. It's well done. Well defended. Into Jones. Jones goes long. Not sure this style of football is working too well for us. Oh, no. Yes, it's in. Daniel Da Silva gets... I mean, it was a dreadful bit of goalkeeping. But Da Silva finishes it beautifully. A little chip. I was worried that was going over. And look at this. Greengrass. What are you doing, mate? Da Silva... He just waits around there in the right place at the right time. Left-footed chip. Oh, didn't make it easy, did he? And in it goes. Well, Belshaw's not done much at the left-back, but here's another chance. Here's De Silva. But, oh, wow. Way over the top. So we've replaced him with Handley on loan from Fulham on the left side. Maybe he is a better option. Well, 89 minutes on the clock. Is there a final chance for somebody? Chambers is running down this left side. Kemp tries to head it on. Doesn't manage to. Gonzalez. Into Corley. Crowley. Oh no, what a dreadful bit of play. The chance should have been gone. And it's straight into Odam's hands. And he gratefully grabs onto that. And yeah, happy days. We're still in this. We still got... What's this? Oh, wow. Goalkeeper. Right, I think we are going to have to just drop this team back because all of a sudden we look at 6s and 7s at the back. Well, how far? It's a standard defensive line. Let's go for a lower... Let's go for a lower defensive line and the mid block for now. Right, let's get in there. Corner. 28 seconds of added time played. 5 minutes to go. Pornovic. flicks it in. Odam does brilliantly, holds on to it. And that's right, folks. We've taken our first point in the championship. We go away to QPR. We pick up a point. Da Silva, yes, it was a gifted chance, but we created opportunities. We weren't the second best team here. It was a good old battle. Not certain whether the long ball football is the way I want to go. I might just try and shorten that down a little bit, and let's try and still play out on the wings. I think we're going to get more joy out there, but I think the long ball just gives it back to them too often, and then they come back from the attack. I'm not saying we pass it through them, but we just try and play a slightly more measured brand of football. But I'm not sure. Good games from Da Silva, Walcott, Dabayo and Odam. Nice to see that some of those are the new boys coming in. We got debuts off the bench from Handley, Kemp, and no, Simons wasn't a debut, but a bit of an injury to Malt. So let's see how Malty is. See if he is going to be out for any time. Well, we're sitting there in mid-table. I'm happy enough with that. I think getting a point away in any game in the championship is going to be a challenge. So yeah, we'll take that. What's the injury? Out for 3 to 4 days. That's not too bad. And I'm going to do this press conference, and then I'll come back. Right then, folks. Okay, so we start off with a 1-1 draw in our first game away from home. We've got to play Crawley in the Cup very soon. Then we've got interesting games, the likes of West Brom. Southend's going to be important because they are one of the teams expected to do poorly. I think I want to come back from a home game, so I'm going to come back for this game against Ipswich. I'm hoping that maybe we can give Ipswich a reasonable game. We've also got Derby there, but we won't do the Derby game as tempting as that is. I think I want to do the Ipswich. I want to come back relatively quickly to give you an idea of how we've started the season. It could be terrible. It could be all right. I don't know. I think it's good. Whatever happens, I'd love to get a win under our belts in this first month if we could. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know where you think we're still lacking players. I think we've got some funds to do something, so fingers crossed that some additional players. I think loan might be the place to look, but I'm not seeing anyone at the minute. We will continue to look to boost the squad. Probably a little bit more creativity in the middle of the park would be nice, and maybe a backup centre back, because I think we're still a little bit low in numbers there. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and big thank you to all of those channel members, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.